Welcome to World Coins Explorer, the channel where every coin has a story, and every story might just lead you to a hidden treasure. In today's episode, we're taking a close look at the 1971 1-cent coin from the United States, also known as the Lincoln penny. While it may seem like an ordinary copper coin you'd find in loose change, the 1970 Lincoln cent hides some incredible secrets. From rare errors to key mint mark varieties, this little coin has gained serious attention among collectors. Some versions of this coin have even sold for hundreds or thousands of dollars. So if you have a 1970 penny in your collection, or even in your pocket, stay tuned. This video could help you discover whether it's a rare gem. The 1970 Lincoln cent is part of a long and iconic coin series that began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln penny became one of the most widely circulated coins in American history. By 1970, the U.S. Mint had been producing the Lincoln Memorial reverse design since 1959, marking Lincoln's 150th birthday. The coin not only carried historical importance, but also reflected a changing era in American culture, economics, and even coinage design. The 1970 cent came at a time when inflation was rising, and discussions around eliminating the penny altogether had already begun. The obverse front of the 1970 Lincoln cent displays the famous right-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner. Around the portrait are the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" above, "Liberty" to the left, and the year 1970 to the right. Depending on the mint location, a small D or S mint mark appears below the date, or no mint mark for Philadelphia coins. The reverse of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, a design by Frank Gasparo, with the inscriptions "United States of America," "E pluribus unum," and the denomination 1 cent. If you look closely, you can actually see a tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, making it one of the most detailed designs in U.S. coinage. The 1970 Lincoln penny was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. Philadelphia produced over 1.1 billion coins. Denver minted about 2.6 billion, and San Francisco produced over 690 million, including proof coins. However, it's the San Francisco Mint that collectors should pay close attention to. Some rare varieties, like the 1970s small date and large date, have been identified and can be worth significantly more than face value. These two versions look very similar, but collectors hunt for the small date version, which is harder to find. Only a trained eye, or a magnifying glass, can tell the difference. The 1971 cent coin is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which was the standard composition for pennies until 1982, when the mint switched to copper-plated zinc. The coin weighs about 3.11 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a plain edge. Because of its copper content, each 1970 penny today is worth at least more than 1 cent in metal value alone, though melting U.S. coins is currently illegal. What truly boosts the value of this coin, however, are its condition, mint mark, and rare errors. Uncirculated coins, MS65 or higher, and proof versions with mirror-like finishes can command high prices from collectors. The 1970 Lincoln penny has gained fame in the collector world due to its varieties and errors. The most well-known is the 1970s small date proof and the 1970s small date business strike, both of which are scarcer and more valuable than their large date counterparts. You can identify a small date version by checking how the 7 in the date appears, level with or above the 0. In the large date, the 7 dips below the 0. In high-grade condition, a 1970s small date penny can be worth $50 to $500 or more, especially if it's a certified proof. Other errors include double dies, off-center strikes, and die cracks, which all increase value. In auctions, some error coins from 1970 have sold for over $1,000 depending on their rarity and grade. In conclusion, the 1970 Lincoln penny may seem like just another old coin, but it has surprising potential value. With its historical design, various mint marks, known varieties, and notable errors, it remains a favorite among collectors. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned numismatist, checking for the S mint mark, small date, impossible proof features could reveal a coin worth much more than 1 cent. We encourage you to look at your coin collection or even your change jar. You never know what hidden treasures might be there. And remember, here at World Coins Explorer, we believe that every coin has a story, and some stories can make you richer than you think. Today, we're diving into a small but iconic coin, the 1990 United States 1 cent coin, commonly known as the Lincoln cent or penny. You've probably seen or even spent one without thinking twice, but did you know some 1990 pennies could be worth far more than 1 cent? In this video, we'll explore everything about this coin: its design, historical importance, composition, mint marks, rare errors, and its true value in the coin collecting market. Whether you're a casual collector or just curious about that penny in your pocket, this video will give you the full picture of the 1990 Lincoln cent. The Lincoln cent has a rich and patriotic history that begins way back in 1909, when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, rather than a symbolic figure like Liberty. The original design by Victor David Brenner has been used on the obverse front ever since, with only minor adjustments over the decades. The 1990 penny continues this tradition, and by that year, the coin had already been in circulation for over 80 years. It served as a symbol of American values, with Lincoln's face representing unity, leadership, and freedom. Despite its low face value, the penny has become an icon of U.S. currency and coin collecting culture. The obverse front of the 1990 Lincoln cent features the familiar right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Around the edges are the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1990. Just below the date, you'll find the mint mark, which can be either a D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mark if minted in Philadelphia. The reverse side of the coin displays the image of the Lincoln Memorial, which had been used since 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The reverse design, by Frank Gasparro, also includes the words "United States of America" and "E pluribus unum," as well as the denomination 1 cent at the bottom. The simplicity and symbolism of the design make it one of the most recognized coins in the world. By 1990, the composition of the Lincoln cent had already changed from its earlier versions. From 1982 onwards, the U.S. Mint shifted from using 95% copper and 5% zinc to a cheaper and lighter composition of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating. Therefore, the 1990 penny is mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. This change was made to reduce production costs. The coin has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, and weighs around 2.5 grams. Although not made of any precious metals, its value can increase if it's in uncirculated condition or has a minting error. Many collectors today search for early copper versions from 1982, but the 1990 coin is still relevant for several surprising reasons. The 1990 Lincoln cents were struck at 3 U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 6.8 billion coins, while Denver minted over 4.9 billion. The San Francisco Mint produced only 3 million proof coins, which were not intended for circulation, but for collectors. The proof versions were struck with greater detail and mirror-like surfaces. These limited quantities make the S mint mark pennies more desirable to collectors. Additionally, some 1990 S proof pennies were accidentally struck without the mint mark, making them extremely rare and valuable, often selling for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Errors are what often elevate an ordinary coin to extraordinary status, and the 1990 Lincoln cent is no exception. As mentioned earlier, the most famous and valuable error is the 1990 S no S proof penny, which is incredibly rare and has been known to fetch up to 3,000 to 5,000 US dollars, depending on condition and certification. Other known errors include off-center strikes, double dyes, and coins with missing parts of the copper plating, revealing the zinc underneath. Even a small flaw can turn a 1-cent coin into a highly collectible piece. Regular 1990 pennies in circulated condition are usually worth only face value, but MS-65 graded coins or higher can bring in $1 to $5 or more, especially if they have a full red RD color grade and no visible wear. So the big question is, should you keep your 1990 Lincoln penny? The answer is yes, especially if it's in excellent condition or has a unique mint error. Look for the S mint mark, check for any doubling or damage, and if you think you have a proof coin, consider having it professionally graded. Although it may seem like a common coin, the 1990 penny holds potential for both collectors and casual hobbyists. It's a reminder that even the smallest coin can carry history, value, and a story worth telling.